playing Minecraft for the first time in like a week because I felt like singing, apparently. It is Sunday. And I'm playing Minecraft. I have guests coming for most of next week, so I'm trying to get in a few episodes ahead of time that I can schedule on YouTube for people to view. Actually, the one coming up tomorrow is already done and scheduled and will be very boring for everybody, just like they always have been. But, you know, just keep going. Plus, I need to be... I don't know about need. But, you know, I should be able to play every once in a while. So, it has been a week for me. Holy cow. I knew I was... As I have complained about... quite a bit already. I have been working away on this email server. I made a little bit of a breakthrough, or more of a discovery, that I would in fact need a particular kind of server to support it. And I got that installed, and I rebuilt the email server accordingly, and that all worked, and that's good. And there's my... I wonder if that'll show up on the screen. Anyways, you know, but then I knew I was going to a Perl, you know, local Perl workshop / conference thingy. And I had heard in the past that they were a little bit short on speakers or people to help, you know, with like tutorials and stuff. And I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. I won't need... let's see. Nope, sorry. I'm actually running a bit low. Okay, that should complete that. I don't need any of this rail. What's going on there? Well, anyways, I felt bad and I volunteered to give a tutorial at this Perl conference. And I severely over-prepared, and then I didn't freeze while because this has already happened now. And it's one of the reasons why I didn't play this past week. I made slides upon slides upon slides, and it was super rudimentary stuff. And I didn't even get through... I might have gotten through half of it. I had no idea how I was going to take the material on the topic and stretch it out to more than 20 minutes, much less 50, which is what I had to do. And yet, 56 minutes had come up, and I was only halfway through. Which is fine. Everybody was really nice about it. I didn't choke terribly badly. It was my first time ever doing this kind of thing. Ooh. Hey, you know what? I have been working on this. Like, you'd seen me, I think in the last episode I'd worked on the upper floor. And having completed that, I was like, okay, I'm going to start putting in walls. And I just kind of went nuts putting in walls. The walls are kind of boring looking right now. And that's going to be okay for the time being. So I'm just going to continue doing that, if that's all right. I'm put in some walls. Section off these rooms. I'm pretty sure there's a mistake in one of the rooms that's connected to the houses upstairs. Oh, you know what I need is torches. I've run low on torches. That's probably not going to be a difficult thing. Oops, that's wrong. Intrudes into the other room. Hello, music. How you doing? Yeah, so I'm going to complete this business, and then we'll fill it all up, and then I'll start yanking some things back out to dress it up in nice-looking ways. I do have to say, though, I have hit upon a... not a technique, but sort of a bug. A lighting bug, really, that actually works really well in this circumstance. I was a little worried about... Isn't that nice? Boink. Funny how these... Oops. Of course. Don't look where you're going or anything. Based on the floor, not on the ceiling. Twink, twink, twink. Don't worry. Whoops. This is all perfectly okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. Twink. Sound effects for the win. You know what? I used to play on a mud called Arctic Mud, and it was set in a Dragonlance setting. So you're talking Dungeons and Dragons, and I mean I've been 95, 96. I was playing this, and I have actually occasionally in recent years gone back to play it is still out there, or at least it was a year or two ago, last time I looked. It's mud.arctic.org, and I think it's port 2700. That's how much I played that back in the day, that I can remember this after years. This is supposed to be this way. Okay. Okay. Why was I talking about that? Wow. Total brain reset. Why was I talking about that? Mud.arctic.org. Dragonlance. Wow. That's almost disconcerting that I have so completely lost where I was going with that. Oh, man. And you know what? In 5 minutes, it will completely hit me. And I'll have to interrupt whatever thought I was then. I'll have lost it. But here, there was a lighting. I remember there was a lighting technique I found I could exploit to a certain extent. Though that's a bad word because it's not really... Oh, I need light. I'm sorry. I'm going to go make some light. One of these still goes. You notice I started putting in doors. I came upon this one technique where I like these. I might actually decide to reverse them sometime so that the bottom's sticking out and you got this little nook up above. Now see, this is what I'm talking about. I was a little concerned having the ceiling so low, but it has caused this interesting effect in terms of lighting. But what it really looks like is sort of a decorative layer of differently colored stone. And so I think it actually really kind of works. And what's going to happen is they'll eventually fix this in terms of lighting, and that'll go away. And I guess what I'll be left with is normal looking rooms. So I guess that's not the end of the world. Here we get into smaller places. They need their ceilings. And yeah, okay. I still have to fill all that stuff out. I still actually have to decide what's going on. The next two, one down, two down. Then I know there's going to be a tower over here, and then probably a plaza. But beyond that, I don't know yet. So, if anybody's watching anymore, I realize the number of viewers has dropped, or views, not viewers, has dropped like half of what it was at first. Probably because I really am pretty boring, but we don't have the requirements on here like they do on Minecraft where everybody has to do a video. I mean, the people here are playing just for fun. And a lot of them don't have the equipment necessary to do video either. So, and there's no way you're going to just say, hey, you got to buy all this video just so you can make my videos look good. That's not going to work. Let's see. So, I'm just going to keep recording because I'm going to play anyways. Might as well record it. There's definitely a threshold. I mean, most of the reason why people aren't watching is because they have no clue that I'm here. And that's how it goes. Once they know, once some weird threshold is found and people start mentioning you and stuff, it expands quickly. And so there's going to be people who hate what I'm doing or find it extremely boring. And there's going to be a few people who are like, hey, that's cool. And that's just the way it is. You can't be upset about that kind of stuff. Dunk. So yeah, I did a tutorial thingy on Perl. Which for those of if there are any web development veterans out there, you've probably done Perl because it was the thing to do when the web became a thing. I mean, the web's been around for a long time, but you were talking academics and stuff were using it before. But when individuals started making websites and it became a thing, Perl was the language. That was it. And it's still a very good language. There's nothing wrong with it, despite the people who aren't using it. Or what is this? That's not right. Phew. Yeah. Glad I brought these along then. Haha. It's a good language. Perfectly viable. There's a new version. Actually, there's annual versions coming out that make improvements. It's actually pretty much the best language on the block when it comes to what's a good word for this? When it comes to picking apart words in language and stuff like that. Deciphering text, especially when you start getting into other languages with their characters. It's very good at adjusting to that. And that's very interesting to everybody, I'm sure. But anyways, I survived. I gave my thing. I'll give more tutorials and talks in the futures now that I have learned a little bit about what to do. Like in this example, well, in Perl, I'm just going to give you a tutorial right now because you want one. Anybody who's done any programming must be familiar with variables, which is, here's a value that temporarily stores another value, or a container that stores a value, and that value may change. Boink. Boink. And, maybe I should just give up and not tell you about those things. Oh, you know what I need. In any case, in most languages, you just assign a name to a variable, like Badger, and it will know something about itself, like I am a number, or I am a set of characters, or I am a pointer to a certain memory location, things like that. When you call me, I go and run a function, a smaller program within a program. But in Perl, the types of variables are a little bit more explicit. So you actually have to say this kind of thing is a scalar, which means that it contains one element. It is one thing. It could be a string, it could be a number, a reference to something else, but it's just one thing. So if it's a scalar, it is a singular entity. Then you have lists, which are collections of scalars. So a collection of single entities that are linear. They're just standing in a line. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can refer to them by their number. In fact, you have to. Where are you in line? I'm number 0 in line. I'm at the front or the back, depending on how you interpret things. And then you have hashes, which are also collections, but instead of a line, it's more like a group photo. A whole bunch of people just clogged together. And the only way you can pick them apart is by their name. That's Jeff, and that's Natasha, and that's Beelzebub over there. You know them by name. That's how you reference them. You don't count through the list and say, okay, number 2, come step on out. You got to call them by name. However, because they're symbols, and I'm so failing at doing anything. Let me put stuff on the ceiling. How's that work? Oh, you know what? The reason I started all this was because I wanted lighting. That will help a lot. I wish I'd remembered where I put lighting on previous. See, I didn't do that right. Oh no, maybe I did. I guess so. Okay. See, watch. Boink, 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 boink. Anyways, because the variables have different, they're called sigils in front. So it's like at Badger, or percent Badger, or $ Badger, or even ampersand Badger, depending on what you're doing. It's saying these are different. Even though they have the same name, they're completely different. So in my tutorial, I had one slide that said Badger, 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 Badger. And they were in the various encapsulations and quotations. Sorry, this is going badly. That made them, to Perl, obviously, what they, their distinctness. What I am the string badger, I am the hash badger, I am. That sounds like some sort of drugged out thing. And I'm the array badger, and they're all different. And Perl can tell the difference, but a human being who doesn't know much about Perl would look at that and have no idea what was going on. Or if they knew, even if they were adept at a different language and not at Perl. I mean, most languages have they have strong similarities to one another in certain ways, and so they become predictable. If you learned one, you can move on to the other. Sort of like if you'd learned Italian, you could pick up bits and pieces of Spanish without any training because they are actually related, just like they are to French. Same with programming. Once you've learned one, you have good footing in almost all the others. Let's see. Let's do this again. This is a slightly different room because it's the sort of the portion cut out between the two rooms on the other side. So they mirror. Anyways, what I learned from this, where I was starting, oh, for crying out loud. I really got to practice making these do that on demand so that I could potentially do it in nature. Oh, for fuck's sake. Did I just swear? Haha, I will bleep it out. I have editing powers these days. Okay, anyways. What I might do next time I teach this particular... Oh, for crying out loud. Really? This is becoming epidemic. Whew. Okay, I ran out. Okay. Anyways, instead of trying to explain everything that leads up to that part of the talk, I might just show them that frame. Badger, 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 or even just a badger, 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 and then mushroom or something. No, the point is to show how they have the same name, but they're all distinct. So, badger, 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 badger. And then I'll just ask them, does anybody have a problem with this? And if anybody is like, I have no idea what's going on there, I instantly know what it is I should start teaching. So that is a lesson learned from this event. See, this is kind of cool, isn't it? It's a nice, actually big room. This is like a luxury flat. That might actually... I don't know. See, my place wraps around, but this might actually be more square footage than my flat. That would be so sad. Let's see. Now, I'm pretty sure I did this. And then back here, I did something right about there. I can always correct it in some other time. Well, I'll stop talking about that. What am I? I'm 15 minutes in. Half an episode. Oh no! Let me go look. I can't have run out of Birch slabs. Well, considering how many roofs I've put in, maybe I can. Let me see. Let me see. So what could I also talk about? Oh, for crying out, monkeys. Apparently I have, whoops, run out. Here, let's make some more. Because I am smart. Put the rest back for the moment. I don't need those. I don't even need... Oh, I might end up needing those. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1. Oh, I got this from downstairs. I was beginning to wonder if I was telling myself something. Like, why did I take 3? I don't think I need any white blocks. Making doors is a pain, I'll have to tell you that. And it's too bad you can't choose your own colors. Underwater tunnel. Recently, Fabian has connected his rail system to mine. His comes from that way, I think. And so now it proceedeth along mine to the mainland. I haven't heard anything since then, but he had been anxious to finish that, and just because I had such a busy week, I was like, okay, go ahead. You know, I had a room ready for it, actually. I just expected I'd be doing it. So when he's like, can I do it? Like, okay. Just, you know, take a look at the aesthetics of what I've got going on in the receiving room and be consistent. And it all seems to be well. Let's see. Oh, right. Ba-ding-a-ding. This afternoon, I went to see Oblivion. And I liked it. I was not supposed to because, you know, we were supposed to dislike, what's his face? Tom Cruise. I don't care about Tom Cruise. I neither like nor dislike him. I do recognize that because he's, you know, sort of A-list, if you see him in the credits, it's more likely to be a reasonably well-made movie. Not necessarily one you'll like, but, you know, they've put some effort into it. And this one came out really well. There were some mistakes where, you know, just plain old director-writer ignorance that always happens to Hollywood. In regards to anything science, seriously, they get it wrong by default. But theirs wasn't so bad. The major error... See, let's see, can I describe this in a way that doesn't give away the plot? I'm sure by the time this comes out, like Wednesday, everybody will have seen it in the world. Everybody in the world will have seen it. I wish I could remember. I'll just do these for now. I'll come back and review my rooms. So it's a later time. But, you know, from the trailers, you know that the world has been attacked and devastated. Did I leave myself any? I did not. Okay. So this entryway is going to have to be very good. At least I survived. Holy. Hello, sheep. Somehow this is going to bridge. Maybe there'll be an arc that also holds that up at some point. But I am undecided about such things. Hey, Fabian put in some lighting that I don't believe I had, but you can sort of see what's going on down there. Someday I'll show you. It's not... I actually recorded an episode where I was showing you and then got rid of... Well, not so much got rid of it as lost it because of the whole computer switch thing that I've probably described in the re-recording of 15. Anyways, Oblivion. Decimated Earth. And they're extracting water from the oceans to convert and bring to some other place. So actually that's a bit of a spoiler. I'm sorry. Not a huge one. But, you know, that's happening. Oh, I just did this. And I need... No. I don't remember what I did on the other side. I don't have the things to do with it right now anyways. Let's just do these guys. And the thing they didn't bother to investigate was, would a decimated Earth be able to have something like oxygen? Okay? One of the life facts about oxygen is that it is intensely reactive. It wants to bond with, or basically, the word is oxidize. It's a word because it happens so much. Carbon is one of the few things that like bonds with stuff more, or it's not even so much bonding as it splits and breaks other molecules and rebonds with them. You know, the components and things like that. So, in case in point being methane. When methane is emitted from methane clathrates, which is a global warming issue horribly, and such, it enters the atmosphere, and then oxygen, O2, starts wailing away at it immediately, breaking it down and recombining, and what you end up with is, well, okay, there's no oxygen left, or not oxygen O, but O2, you know, the stuff we breathe, along with all these other things. One of the parts that we find particularly important to our survival, okay, it's gone. It has broken up, and it has broken up the methane molecule, and you get carbon dioxide and water vapor as a result, both of which are equally powerful warming gases. You know, they greenhouse gases. There you go. Man, I go through these quick, huh? Oops. Well, that's fine. So you end up with 2 greenhouse gases, right? And no O2. It's gone. Whoops. Shoot, that was not intentional at all. Oh well. Anyways, so basically, oxygen bonds or breaks up things and bonds with stuff, and it's gone. And that was not something they bothered to look up or consider when they made this movie, because a decimated Earth isn't crawling with vegetation in every corner. I mean, literally, it was desolate. Whatever oxygen was left after the event would quickly deplete because it is so busy at working against and with other molecules that it will not last long. It has to be constantly replenished. In fact, the presence, if we look at like spectroscopy of these new planets we're always discovering, and we find one that has oxygen, like O2, that is a huge deal because O2 simply cannot persist on its own. There's no... It's so temporary. It has to be constantly produced. And the only thing we have any experience with that can do it is life. And in our case, plant life. And algae, but that's just microscopic plants. Okay, so this was not something they considered in the movie. That 70, 80 years after the Earth is decimated, that, you can still breathe, though. Probably not. Or at least not well. You'd be, like, trying to, like, Mount Everest. Whoops. I am not supposed to be coming out that far. Damn it. It's like you'd be wheezing and short of breath and all that stuff. Not even considered. That the main character was athletic, bouncing around, doing whatever. Completely unlikely in such a scenario. And also in the scenario, they were making this not uncommon suggestion that water was highly valuable. What did I do on the other side? And that was one of the reasons why. Oops. Okay, so I didn't do that. Me too. Wink. Take that one back. And so they come to they're mining the Earth for water, right? Water's not that rare. It really isn't. It's not going to frequently be in liquid form as ubiquitously as it is on Earth. But it's one of the most common things out there, seriously. It is really super amazing common. And sucking it up as water to convert into things and transport and stuff like that is wasteful. When you could just cut it up into chunks from, like, say, Europa or Callisto, things that are practically all ice, or any comet, frankly, and it's pre-refined for you. You don't need to compress it and ship it and all that stuff. I don't know. It was kind of a stupid concept in that aspect. But all these complaints aside, the story was good. I really enjoyed the story, in spite of actor we're not supposed to like. Very good. I liked it a lot. The ending music was really good, especially with the credits that they had. I realized that might be not the most important thing in the world, but I enjoyed it. Let's see. Did I make a decision on this end? I didn't. And with a door in back, this right here is going to is something that's going to have to be resolved at some point. Oh well. So yeah. Oh, boink, 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 boink. Why are you doing that? I guess what I'll do is put one on the inside for now. Just because I can do the same thing on the inside, it will technically be symmetrical. One more. Okay. Put that here. See, this is more like what I was going for. Put in some railings, and you could look out over the sea. But on the other side, there's a hill in the way. So, good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. And the friggin', which, according to my discrete structures teacher back in college, friggin' is a technical term. Friggin' lot of really good looking movies this year. Stupidly good movies this year. I generally hate superhero stuff. It's just it's so implausible it loses me. I'm much more interested in, like, normalish people who accomplish great things. rather than, oh, I'm just Man of Steel, I can do everything, but I'm going to act humble about it, which would be kind of remarkable. But is that right? Apparently it is. In spite of that complaint, like, for example, as just mentioned, that's not going to work. Man of Steel looks like it will be quite good. At least the trailer was good. So the movie actually has to live up to the trailer, I suppose. I was really, really angry at the last new Star Trek, but the trailer for this one looks very nice. Like, maybe if they don't botch the science up so severely on this one, maybe I can enjoy it. That would be a nice thing. Let's see. Wow, I'm going to have to mine for Birch. Can mine for fish? Where was that from? How I mine for fish. I think it was a World of Warcraft thing. I don't know. Just suddenly spontaneously entered my brain. You know what? I'm already half an hour into this. I don't really want to do episodes much longer than half an hour. But I don't... What happened? I didn't really do anything in this episode, did I? I didn't complete a project or anything. I just rambled and put in ceilings and spent a little bit too much time running around in circles. Talking. Oh. I can say the Perl conference, going back to a previous topic, was pretty cool. It's smaller than other conferences because so many other languages have come and some have even gone. Since Perl was the thing, and people they have this way of thinking if it's newer, it must be better, and that's not really true. But, it does mean that, unfortunately, the number of people does diminish. So it was a small thing. And there's a bigger one next month, but I can't attend that one. It's just Austin is way too far out of the way, and it's hard to get to. I mean, I could get to San Francisco on like half of what it would cost to get to Austin for some strange reason. And I am literally out. Well, you know what? That is a good excuse to call it an episode. Sorry about my incoherent rambling. I will continue to do so in spite of that. Haha. But here, that's facing out to sea. Oh, you know what I should do? Ha 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 ha. So, it's coming together. Hopefully when it's complete, it'll look like something. But I will set this aside, and I'll go off hunt some wild birch trees. And if I survive, I'll bring them back. And... Oh, I'm stupid. Here is what I wanted to show you. This is kind of cool. Can I do Safari without showing you anything? Like private? Bear with me. I'm still talking. I'm just waiting. Oh my god. See, my brother is now on the server. He's been for a little while now. And he just did something really interesting. And didn't even really, and it just went ahead and did it. And it was pretty damn cool. Oh, geez, and it's getting more interesting. I have not paid attention for a few days. That's neat. Here it goes. Here it comes. I'm sorry. Yes, we have a Facebook email thing we call Waffle Tree Spigot Moth. Or I do. Nobody else really seems to care about that. Here, let me just fill the little screen. It doesn't fill my entire screen. He made this. Look at this. I mean, it doesn't look like much at the moment, but it's still impressive just because it came out of nowhere. Strange Hill. I'm not sure I know that one. He's definitely improved this since then. And there's... So those are a little hard to read. He's doing what, I think, some sort of algorithm with a bubble algorithm where it's similar to how sovereignty is measured in EVE Online, actually. Anyways, each location we have recorded, I think this is HTML5 or something, has a biome thing, and so it has a little radius of biome, and then as they kind of merge together and create stuff, and it might even be accurate someday. But the more points we put in, the more the map will resemble something. But this is really friggin' neat, I think. Here's my place. Kath's is way over here. Something called Cool. I don't know what that is. Casman Plains, snowy area. Green Bend and Desert. Some of these I did some scouting early on, so a bunch of these are based on those. Let's see. Portal to Nowhere. I'm not sure I've heard that one. Portal to Overwater. Some of these are new. The Hut. Portal. There's a portal at the hut? I made that when I was exploring. I mean, like, between episodes 1 and 2. I made the hut because I needed something to do. Maybe I should show you the guys. I mean, it's nothing much to look at. Hidden Ravine Among Hills. So yeah, he made this, and it will continue to grow and improve over time, I assume. That's pretty neat. Oh well. Everybody have a good night for what after blah episode 16. Sorry. Oh, there's another world too. It might want to someday scale. But yeah. Hut portal. I wonder who put that in. I didn't do it. I wonder where it is. But yeah, okay. Have a good night.